So let's get right into it, man. You just want to get right into
Yeah.
the boys episode
Mhm.
because, bro, this was in I every episode it keeps upping itself. I think you said that. You said that last week, and
Yeah. It
this,
keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Zero chill.
yeah,
And it's just
yeah,
not it's this show is the very definition of zero chill.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
um
Adam, if you're hanging out, well, we're still talking. That was just like for our replay guys, for
mhm.
Miss Marvel. We're gonna hang out and talk about the boys.
Yeah. Hey Adam.
Um, yeah. So, yeah, appreciate hanging out over here, Adam.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
I think I saw his name here before too. Could be wrong,
Mhm.
but yeah, yeah. Like you said, the boys season 3 is zero chill. Like, and next week, this upcoming. So we're recording this on 6/22 on Wednesday. In 2 days, the 24th, we'll get the newest episode, and supposedly that's the Herogasm episode. Um, so the name is enough to you to figure it out. But we'll
Oh
be talking
yeah.
about that one next week.
Mhm.
But just knowing where it's going next is like, man, but I don't even know where to start with this one because there's so much going on. They're introducing more comic book characters. They're
Mhm.
creating kind of their own thing with Soldier Boy. I guess you just want to start off with Butcher. I mean, he's kind of the main guy of the story so far. Him and Homelander, but we'll start with Butcher.
Yeah,
What
let's
do you
start
think
with
about
Blue.
Butcher so far?
So the interesting thing about Butcher is throughout the previous seasons, he's always kind of had someone to kind of reel him in before he goes completely over the edge. But now that he's taken Compound V more than once, you know, I feel like things are about to go even further south. We already saw how Mother's Milk is responding to him after he took Compound V. Like he freaking drugged the guy, like, just
Yeah,
so that he wouldn't be around to kind of reel him in. He's always been one of the main ones to reel him in. And who knows what's going to happen with Frenchie and Kamiko at this point in time. And I think
yeah,
I even think Huey's kind of starting to get on board with a lot of things that Butcher's doing, especially with the Compound V, and now he's becoming more insistent on using it. So, I kind of see him going down a dark path as well. We saw how, euphoric and blissful he looked at the end of the episode before this after he took it. You
yeah,
know, so I'm thinking things are going to go really really bad for Butcher in particular, and a lot of things that he's probably going to end up doing now that because he has no tether. The kid gloves, if there were any kid gloves for him, are really really off, and for a character like him, you know who knows how south things are going to go.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So I'm been catching up on the comic book. I've been watching a couple of videos where they're breaking it down. So I
Mm.
pretty much am done with it.
Mm.
I have like a few more like issues. I think I'm on issue like 68 or something like that. Um,
Mm.
but because I think there's like 70 something issues. Um,
I
but
think you're about on the right track. Yeah.
yeah, so somewhere in the 70s, I think. But they definitely hit at other things with that Butcher might do. You know,
Mm.
he did drop some little hint. You very interesting. But the biggest part for me of this episode was hit when Queen Maeve gave him more of the Compound V or the 10 Compound V.
Yeah.
He was talking about when he killed what was his name? What was the
Gunpowder.
gunpowder? Yeah.
Mhm.
And Maeve was like, "Oh, you liked it?" Like and you're expecting like he's like, "Yeah, I loved it," because that's what happened with Huey. Huey's like, "Oh, I loved how I felt. I loved what it did to me, and this and that." and you're kind of expecting like Butcher to be like the same, the complete opposite. He goes, I hated it. I hated every minute of it. And I was like, interesting, and he said that he goes, it made me more me. And I'm like, damn, man, that's so like honest from Butcher, and it was very interesting that he understands himself enough, but he
Yeah.
also like, and he knows he doesn't have a line to cross, which he said, or he said that a few times in this episode. He goes, there's no line in the sand for me. Like,
Yeah.
there's no line.
And
You know?
and you know what, Tank? That's what makes him so engaging and appealing a character. He's the very definition of an anti-hero, and that's why he's so interesting to watch for me, man. Because you just, his unpredictability. You just never know what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
It's so that's my main point of investment, and he's probably the main character that I'm the most invested in, because I'm always curious to see where he goes next, if he's going to rein himself in, just and where things are going to go for him the following scene. So that's one of the reasons that I really, really like this show. This show, dude, it really could have been easy for them to mess up with it. It could have just came off as obnoxious and try hard, what with the excessive violence, using using the F-bomb every other sentence. It could have came off as really juvenile and really try hard. But it's coming off very well written and very smart, and there's no really, there's only a small few good people on this show. Either people are awful, or they kind of walk that line, or kind of like well into the gray area. So I'm very interested to watch, and I find myself very, very glued to the screen every episode without even looking at my phone.
Yeah, dude, exactly. It's so it like after season 1, I agree that they could have gone kind of overboard with it and just over the top, and a lot of sex, blood, violence, crazy superheroes, and it would have been probably still a fun kind of series. But now it's so more engaging, that you care so much about everything going on, everyone's relationship, Mother's Milk's relationship with the boys, with his wife, with his daughter, the new stepdad, the what's his name, I can't remember what his name was, who loves Homelander. So all that's like, so I don't remember. Dave, I don't remember.
It's something very, very generic.
Yeah. Sorry for any Jeffs or Daves.
Sorry for any Jeffs or Daves. And
it wasn't okay.
And it's cool to see kind of Mother's Milk get some more fleshing out and development, because we've just kind of known him to be kind of like the level-headed, kind of more or less the straight man of the group. So it's nice to kind of see them go more into him and his backstory. And he's always been another favorite of mine to watch. And not to mention, he wears awesome, badass old school hip hop T-shirts all the time.
Yeah.
So,
But I can't think of the guy who plays him.
Is it Laz Alonso?
Yes.
Mm. He's been acting for a while. Yeah, he's great. Really loving him in each episode that I see, kind of his facial tics. He's really good at kind of acting with his face and his expressions and stuff like that. So he's definitely been, he hasn't gotten enough shine or recognition that he deserves for his work on this show.
Yeah. And also what's her name? Kamiko is super awesome, super interesting. she lost her powers and she seemed super happy.
Mhm.
Oh man, it just her character, and on top of that is once I found out who she was,
Mhm.
like it makes it more interesting. So you see the character she is in The Boys, very Wolverine-esque, I guess, especially with the powers and the viciousness of everything, but doesn't speak.
Yeah.
But she also voiced Glimmer in She-Ra, the Netflix animated show. There, she was the voice of Glimmer, who was which is kind of funny when you think about it. I don't know if you ever seen the She-Ra show.
I haven't seen the She-Ra series. I'll probably
Pretty good.
eventually watch it, at some point, just because I love He-Man or anything kind of nostalgic based in that regard. But yeah, I had no idea that she was even on that show.
Yeah, she and Glimmer is kind of a very important character in the show.
Yeah.
Not the voice that you expect from Kamiko. But
Hmm.
she also voiced another cartoon on Netflix was Kipo and the Wonder Beast, which was such an amazing freaking show. Also on
Hmm.
Netflix, there's only 3 seasons. It's so freaking good, so good. And she was the main character, Kipo, in that one as well. And it's just so like
Hmm.
funny, like seeing those characters, and then I'm like, oh, this is her, and it's just a completely different thing, and it's really really cool. Karen uh
Fukuhara.
Fukuhara, I think her name is. She's killing it, man. I love her as Kamiko, and finding out she voiced all these other awesome characters on Netflix. So
Mhm.
but I'm really interested in her arc. Is she gonna get her powers back? Is that gonna put her down like this weird downward spiral if she gets her powers back? That's gonna be
Mhm.
interesting. Frenchie's also got a good story going on with helping out the Russian Nina, right?
Yeah.
I think her name was.
Mhm.
So, and then A Train. Oh, dude, the memes I saw from A Train was incredible. People are
They,
just
the
completely
the
trashing A Train.
the internet did not fail with the A Train memes. I knew they were coming. I shared a few.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, yeah. If if
yeah,
if A Train really doesn't turn over a new leaf and completely come around after what happened with Blue Hawk,
yeah.
you know, there's no hope for him. You know.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Agreed. Like the
So,
deep, you
but
already know. He's a pushover. He's not even himself. He's just a puppet for his wife at this point. You
yeah.
know. So, but at least A Train, man, he has. Like, I would give him one more opportunity. You get one more shot, and if you fail it, then I don't think there's no more redemption for him. Like he's just gonna
Definitely not.
be, one of Homelander's lackeys, which kind of sucks.
Yeah,
Because
I think kind of when he was watching Blue Hawk give that speech, you know,
yeah,
he had to have kind of, I think he kind of saw himself in Black Hawk when he was apologizing for what he did to Huey's
Mhm.
wife, or not
Oh,
Huey's girlfriend
girlfriend.
at the beginning. How casual and just kind of as how he saw the apology as a chore that he didn't really care about.
Yeah, dude, I
So
didn't even put that together. That is a perfect reference. Perfect reference. Um,
yeah,
you know,
so he was basically looking in the mirror,
yeah,
and so I'm wondering if he's going to take out Blue Hawk himself. If he's going to have to do something further about Blue Hawk, because the guy crippled his brother, so I'm pretty sure A Train isn't going to take that lying down.
I hope so. Hope so.
Yeah, I hope, but yeah, this was a good episode. The musical number,
Yeah,
between Kamiko and Frenchie was a lot of fun,
yeah.
and I'm curious to see more of Soldier Boy and kind of more of his powers or whatever whatever the Russians did to him. I'm curious to see that be a little more defined.
Mhm.
And one thing that I really loved was seeing Homelander's reaction to him on the TV screen, like Homelander is for in a very rare occasion, in a very rare instance, Homelander is shook.
Yeah.
Is kind of the impression that I got from him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because I think
I'm curious.
Homelander is usually sorry, but I feel like Homelander is
Oh,
usually
no, you're fine.
like what you said, like shook. I feel like Edgar, what was his name? Stan Edgar.
Yeah, Stan Edgar. Yeah.
Stan Edgar. Yeah. I felt like he kind of messed with him, but it was more of a mind screw up,
Yeah.
But this
Definitely
is like,
mental.
here's somebody who can actually kick my ass, like a physical kind of more like fear, which would be super interesting.
Yeah, like almost the way they're kind of building him up. It's kind of like he's the physical superior to Homelander, not just an equal but a superior. This guy seems like he's basically a walking power neutralizer.
Yeah, but I wonder,
and
does anybody know it yet? Besides, does Homelander know it? Does Homelander know what he can do, what he's capable of?
Yeah,
or his new power?
Yeah.
You think he knows?
I think he's got to have some kind of idea, especially when he was looking at the TV screen and the camera zooms in on his eyes. So I think he's got to have some kind of idea.
Yeah.
At the absolute least. Otherwise he wouldn't have looked so, freaked out, and struggling to hold it together as he did there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then one of the last things, they introduced the Legend. This took 3 seasons, but we finally get the Legend. He was in the comics. Who's the guy that played him? I can't think of his name. Great actor. I thought he crushed it as this kind of waspy, kind of shady, old time kind of business guy.
Yeah, who was that actor?
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up too.
I can't think. There was a show he was in the early '90s, and having.
Oh yeah. Paul Reiser. Yeah.
Oh, yep. There you go.
From Mad About You and Alien.
Mad About You. There you go. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, he's having a good little TV career or streaming show career. He's on the newest season of Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good appearance, and I love just how kind of sleazy and kind of reliving his glory days. During the discussion with the boys, he was going through. That was fun.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. It was,
yeah.
Oh, what is he? He said Marlon Brando, like, and him had sex, which was kind of like, it's kind of like funny, and it was like, I'm like, oh man, okay. So he's just throwing out all these names. Right. He keeps looking at Huey. He's like, oh, look her up too. I had sex with her, and look her up too. It was just like he was trying to like show off. It was so like totally douchey, but it fit it.
Yeah, totally showing off and just totally boasting about the glory days. Yeah, that was a good one. But how about you? What anything about this episode you would liked or stood out for you, or anything like in that regard?
The Legend was pretty cool. Now that I know more about the comic books, it's cool seeing him for sure. Doesn't look anything like the comic books, but that's all right. I didn't expect anything else. I mean, the whole ending, is kind of interesting. Like Huey took the Compound V again, Butcher took it again, and they're with Soldier Boy to go find Homelander, I guess. But
Homelander,
at what cost? Butcher lost one of his best friends, and Huey lost the girl that he loved, but is it for the greater good? It's gonna be really interesting the next couple episodes. You know,
Yeah,
well, the next
definitely.
episode for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
and I did enjoy that conversation between Homelander and Maeve when she mentioned that she more or less always despised him. You know, uh, that was this episode, right? Oh, was that?
oh, sorry, I had to mute you for a second.
That's
Yeah, cause I got actually I had to take a call, so I got to get going right now.
okay. I got it.
So sorry about the sudden ending.
Oh no,
Um,
no problem. Do we need to? Should we do our
I
rating?
don't know. Well, nah, we'll save the ratings
Okay,
later.
sure.
Yeah, for the end. But I know you like the episode. I love the episode, and
Mhm.
we're both. I don't know about you. I'm assuming you are super excited about Herogasm. You know, coming up
Oh,
Friday. So
I'm
that's
not
definitely
even.
gonna be an
I'm not
episode I
even.
watch right away.
Yeah, I'm not even entirely sure if I'm ready for whatever's gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's gonna be a wild episode. We haven't got much sex besides like what you said with Maeve and Butcher.
Mhm.
Usually there's been a lot more sex in the last couple seasons. I think they're
Yeah.
gonna put it all out on the table in this next episode. But anybody watching on replay and you're just watching us talk about the boys, let us know what you thought about the boys. Leave a comment if you're excited about the next couple episodes, where you think is gonna go with Homelander and Soldier Boy and Butcher and all of them. Let us know your
Mhm.
predictions and stuff like that. And also make sure you subscribe. We're on our road to 300. We're at 256 or so. And make sure you check us out live. Right now, we are live Wednesdays talking about TV shows and Mondays talking about the newest movie blockbuster. Make sure you sub and follow us. We are live times a week. But yeah, that is it from us here at the Spoiler King. Let's get out of here and we'll see you guys next week. Monday, we're talking what are we talking? Black Phone on Monday.
Black
Next
one.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna keep going with these shows and hopefully get into Umbrella Academy pretty soon. That just
Oh
dropped.
yeah, yeah. That is pretty much here, right?
Yeah, today I think was the first they all dropped. So
Oh yeah.
a lot of shows to watch.
Mhm.
Is there enough time in the day? But
It's tough to say.
yeah, I know, right?
Mhm.
But cool, man. That's it
Awesome.
from us today. We appreciate everybody, and we'll see you guys later.
Thank
Later.
you so much, everyone. Bye bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.